Think about your Thanksgiving meal. Take in the smells and flavors and tastes of a fresh salad, vegetables, mashed potatoes, and that juicy turkey. Then imagine if your meal was simply just a bowl of rice. That is because 1 in 6 people today are malnourished. This is an insidious disease where you get all the calories you need, but you lack the important vitamins, nutrients, and minerals. This leaves you at threat for all diseases. If you are malnourished, it is far more difficult to survive almost anything. This is even worse with children. It causes the problem of stunting. Instead of growing full and healthy, they grow stunted, where they grow much smaller and leave them chronically at fault or in trouble of being at list of many different diseases for the rest of their lives. And this is really hard to treat. So we solved the calorie problem in the last couple decades, but we didn't solve the nutrient problem. Now we can use the model from solving our problem with calories to do that model to solve for nutrients. Back in the 40s and 50s, demographers saw a rapid rise in population that was not kept up with an increase in farmland. What was projected was mass starvation across the world by the 1990s. This did not happen. Why? Because of public institutions. Because of public institutions such as CMeat in Mexico and my personal hero, Norman Borlaug, who was a plant scientist and plant breeder, who was able to form new forms of wheat that were able to survive rust, which is a plant disease that wipes out whole villages' crops, and a form of dwarf wheat, which was able to survive the monsoons. Instead of falling over, it was able to stand up. They were credited with saving up to 1 billion lives by opening up CMeat and over a dozen public institutions across the world. For this, Norman Borlaug received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1970. Today, our industry is much different. These institutes were defunded in the 80s and 90s. Because of this, private companies such as Monsanto now run our seed supply. Can we trust them, profit-driven companies, to feed the rest of the world? So I asked the Monsanto breeder I met at my institution what he said when I asked him, what are you guys doing about the nutrition problem? His response, that's not really a focus of our company. We're focusing on yield and profit for our farmers. And I can't blame them. Companies will be forever driven by profit. That's why we need to take our seeds back. We need to fund public institutions for plant science, for crop science, to ensure our agriculture fills all needs. So we can fund orphan crops, those crops Monsanto does not invest in, that provide more nutrition than just simply rice. Let's take our seeds back and start the nutrition revolution.